first and foremost, proud of the team. Proud to be an Arsenal fan. That fans were fantastic. We was all like, obviously thinking that they was going to come back and win the game, but we got there and defended. The Arsenal fans continually singing all the way through it. Like, you know, I think more for nerves than anything else, guys. If I'll be really honest, it's just trying to count, you know, get the time to go quicker and quicker. And there was a moment when you just think, oh, like, you know, they're going to get one. And then just when I thought that we was going to win it, like just at that stage, 20 seconds left there was. Because to tell you what, like, everybody can go on about the time. There was 7 minutes put up. And when that 7 minutes were put up, Arsenal had a player down. So I put my old stopwatch on from when that kicked off again. It was 6 minutes, 40 seconds. So there was 20 seconds left. 40 seconds left, I think it was, for the game. You know what I mean? So that controversy wasn't there with the time. But yeah, so I've just gone through all the emotions. Yeah, we'll take the point. Yeah, and then disappointed, then angry, and whatever goes from it. Like, I've looked back at the incidents with the decisions and all that. Like, yeah. I think at the end of the day, I can see why he sent him off for 2 yellows. But then I can see why he probably shouldn't have done. And after what happened last season with Oliver, with Kolovich, ridiculous, scenario. Even how our web said, we don't want to ruin the game. Well, he didn't care about that yesterday. And then, like, I get it, but then I look at Liverpool. What's his name? Sablozalai, whatever his name. Yeah. He done he was on a booking. He kicked it worse. It was more of a time delay, longer than Sablozalai. Good name, isn't it? Like, I wouldn't want to say that after a few drinks. Anyway, I watched that incident today, and it was 10 times worse than the Trossard one. 10 times worse. I know who was the referee. Oliver. And what did he do? Nothing. He did nothing. So when
was that? When was that?
Liverpool game last week.
Oh, right.
Go and have a look at it. Put it up there. It's there. Who did they play last week? Can't remember who it was.
Forest. They lost.
Is it Forest? I think it might have been Forest. And he kicks the ball away.
Was he on a booking, Lee?
He was on a booking. It would have been his second yellow card. He chooses not to do it. So what it is consistent. I've actually looked back at the one, and this is what makes me laugh about things. You know what I mean? Like, you know, the Doku one, like, yeah. You can actually say, yeah, I get it. Yeah, it's not in the right place, but nor was the Declan Rice one. You know what I mean? He could have said exactly the same with the Declan Rice one. No, knock the ball back to where it was meant to be kicked. It's just the inconsistencies of it all, like, you know. And what makes it worse is that there was one in the incident with Pedro for Brighton game, and then we get the Declan Rice, and it happens exactly in this one, like, you know. And I just think at this moment in time, he could have just let him off. It was borderline. It was borderline.
Do we agree though it was silly from Trossard? Because I do think it was.
No, I don't think it was. I think that he's bashed into him like you do in a game, Dan, and then there was.
No, not the foul, not the foul.
No, and then like the ball. His seconds, it's that, isn't it? 0.8 of a second it was. Like, he hasn't delayed it. Go and have a look at the one with the Liverpool one. It's the same referee, same decision, a lot longer. Just, you know, it's just inconsistency. I get what you're saying, Dan. That they could, you know. I
just think, Lee, I know that, you know, people think, oh, I'm always on that side of the fence, but I just think these referees are so crud. This one in particular, do not give this guy any sort of ammo because he'll fucking have you. And I think Trossard allowed him to make a decision there because Trossard could have passed. I think Merson said it. He's technically gifted. He could have just sprayed that ball along to Martinelli, or he could have just put it out for a throw in if he really did think it was going to be out of the game. He knows what he's doing. I think he has heard the whistle when he's kicked it. It might have been a split second. I don't know. No one knows the truth. No one knows the truth about Doku. No one knows if Doku is actually kicking that because the referees told him back. We're not there on the thing. We can only judge on it what we think. I just think these referees are so crap that if the letter of the law says that, please don't do it because they will send us off. They won't send the other players off, but they will send ours off. It seems.
And that's the issue that I've got with Trossard. You know what you got with these red. Don't give him the opportunity. Like, I get that. I totally get that. But when you have a look at the one with Docker, he could have booked him, but he thinks, I can get away with it here by saying this. You know what I mean? I can get away with it by saying this. And I think he could have done that with Trossard, but there wasn't that same sort of leniency. That's what I'm saying. Like, I look back at last season's decision, Dan. It was border on red card, the first one. I've seen it all day on web saying, it could be a red card and all that. Like, so when you do that, and then 5 minutes later you go in for another second yellow card, there's no way on God's earth you should ever be let off. But he lets him off then. Why? A penalty last season against Liverpool. Liverpool Man City. Do you remember when he gets caught in the? You know what I mean? Who's refereeing that game?
Michael Oliver.
Who's gone on a jolly up to Dubai, paid by Manchester City's owners to referee a charity game out there, friendly game out there? Who was it? Oliver. So there's too many of them now, Dan. There's too many.
If I'm honest, the ones, wasn't it? He sent off Martinelli, didn't he? Is that one you mentioned?
No, he sent off Martinelli for the two
Wolves
against Wolves. That weren't against Man City though. Like, but have you ever seen that ever done before? Have you ever seen it ever again? Oliver. But I'm not.
Oliver?
Yeah, I'm not looking at these games. I'm not looking at these games. I'm looking at what I'm looking at is the incidents with Manchester City. Remember this last season, Everton penalty. Do you remember Rodri and ball?
Oh yeah, was that Oliver
against Everton? Who's the referee?
No, was that really? That was Michael Oliver.
Michael Oliver.
No
penalty to Everton, like, you know what I mean, like. But yes, again, Michael Oliver. Right. Ake has a header that goes in, like the player standing in front of the goalkeeper. Goal given. Who's the referee? Michael Oliver. So you keep getting these things come up. Now it could be coincidence, but when you've got a ref that's gone over to Dubai and spent 20 grand paying 20, why are you paying 20 grand when you're refereeing in England anyway? What's all that about? You know what I mean? That should have been said. No, I'm sorry, Michael. If you want to go over there, you're not refereeing here no more. It just puts all these little doubts into the mind and everything like that, like, and that is all that I'm saying of it, like, there's too much now. You're thinking like, all right, 1, 2, 3, like, you know what I mean? Anybody, like, you've got that Howard Webb trying to defend him in the game against Arsenal at the Emirates last season, saying that, he wanted to keep the game, he didn't want to spoil the game. He's trying to make excuses for him. Well, he didn't worry about that today, did he? Like, for me now, I don't want to see. I know people go like, "Oh, you got to have." I do not want to see him ever refereeing an Arsenal Man City game again. And Arsenal now have got enough evidence to turn around and go, "Do you know what? I'm not saying that he is, but it's too much of it, too much coincidence, like, And that is it for me, like, I don't see the fairness of it, like, listen, we all get bad decisions go against us and things like that. I get that, you know what I mean? It is the way it is. I'm not saying there is, but I'm looking at these incidents now. When there was a blatant handball at Everton Man City, he doesn't give it. I don't know if it was a blatant penalty, that one last season with Liverpool, but he had stud marks down his chest. I've seen it all, like, and there are bad refereeing decisions. I look at the Vicario one for handball. You know what I mean? Like, how has a ref not seen that? The 2-footed tackle by Martinez, like, and you've got idiot like Dermot Gallagher on there today go, well, we didn't touch him. Well, I'm not being horrible. You get 7 years for attempted murder if you don't murder someone. You've attempted it. You know what I mean? Like, that's all right. I shot at the president, but I didn't touch him. Oh, that's all right then. That's all right then. You know what I mean? Like, we'll carry on. It's corrupt. You know what I mean? Like, and these
let me ask you this. Like, if I ask both of you this while we're on referees, I honestly can't name referees that I think are good. I struggle. For the whole of my lifetime, I struggle. I thought Jeff Winter was pretty good. I didn't mind Mark Halsey. Some people hated him. I didn't mind him. Other than that, I'm really struggling now. I have to go European to what's his name, Kalina, who I thought was by far the best, and probably Kim Nielsen or somebody like that. Other than that, I'm really struggling because we've got absolute clowns. We've got absolute clowns and always have had. Even if you go back to Durkin days, Andy Durso, Uriah Rennie, what's his name, Mike Riley, they all just keep getting worse as you keep going down the list. And now we've got Chris Kavanagh and Michael Oliver and Anthony Taylor, and they're all going out the Euros and the World Cup, by the way. Absolutely shocking.
The referee on Thursday night at Atlanta was very good.
The one who looks like Trossard.
Yeah, it looks like Trossard.
Yeah, I quite like him. Yeah.
Give a penalty against us, but you got to turn around and say it's probably the right decision. Got everything right. You don't even know that he's there. Didn't even know who he was. It's now time to dump these referees and get in decent referees. Go back to that Riley. He was running it at one stage. Go back and have a look at the Old Trafford Buffet 45, the 49 game. You tell him he should never have ever worked as a referee ever again after that game, because that was as corrupt as anything. You know what I mean? There's all question marks on that. And then at the end of it, he gets
Howard Webb.
he gets the job. Yeah, Howard Webb. He was like, they used to say he was like Man United favourite and everything like that. I don't know if he was or whatever, but it's just. I don't think it's corrupt. I'm not so sure about the Mike Oliver one. I'm going to say it now. I think there's something in that, right? So I'm going to call him out, and I do think that he is corrupt. But I don't think that the others. I just think they're crap. They are crap.